You're listening to the Adventurous Reinvention podcast. I'm Allison Boyle, aka She Dreams of Alpine, and this is the show that's dedicated to all the adventurous spirits out there who have either been transformed by the outdoors or are interested in what it looks like to step into a new, adventurous, and courageous kind of identity in their life. It doesn't matter what your background is in the outdoors, what age you're starting at, or where you grew up. If you're curious about the outdoors and using adventure as a way to reinvent yourself, you're in the right place. I'll be sharing all kinds of personal adventure stories, lessons I've learned from the mountains, teaching what I know about the outdoors and leadership, and interviewing some amazing adventurous women all along the way. I've been coaching women on becoming safe, confident, and self-sufficient backpackers and leaders of their own adventurous lives since 2018, and I know exactly what big fears and self-doubts can pop up along the way. I have so much to share with you, so let's dive in. Hello everyone, it's Allison, and before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to just kind of give a quick announcement. So I'm taking a little summer break from the podcast. I've got some very exciting personal adventures planned for the summer and also some really epic client trips that are coming up on the horizon. So this pause is really just to give me and my team a little space to breathe and reset and focus in other areas of our business right now. But I didn't want to leave you hanging with nothing to listen to over the summer. So I am going to be sharing something really special. I'm going to be sharing a behind the scenes audio series from my hike on the John Muir Trail. So my husband Michael and I set out to thru-hike the John Muir Trail back in 2020. So that is a while ago now. We were aiming to finish it in 22 days, but due to some massive wildfires and a full national forest closure, we had to bail early. This is something we definitely didn't expect. So this series, for some reason, we decided to record like a daily podcast back then. This was before I even had the podcast. But this series is going to be showing you a real, raw, behind the scenes audio that we recorded on the trail when we were out there doing the John Muir Trail as we dealt with all the highs, the lows, the relationship dynamics, and also the huge disappointment of getting kicked off the trail early in 2020, and then our eventual comeback in 2021 to finish it. So if you have ever dreamed of hiking the JMT or you just love a good adventure story, you are going to love these sort of like bite-sized episodes that are coming up of our kind of behind the scenes trail diary. This is something that I've never released before. So I really think you're going to enjoy this, and it will kind of like fill that, adventure itch that you might be getting while we're taking a little break from our normal episodes. And this series will run through about mid-August, and then we will be back with fresh episodes on the Adventurous Reinvention podcast. If you're listening to this kind of midway in the series, be sure to go back and listen to previous episodes. But at the end of the day, I hope you enjoy this and that it's a nice little kind of thing to get you excited about your own adventures and maybe even eventually pursuing the John Muir Trail one day. All right, let's dive in. Hello.
What up?
This is Allison.
And Michael, yet again.
And today is day 3 of our JMT adventure.
Day thrice.
Day 3. Okay. So what did we do today, Michael?
We summited Whitney.
Yeah.
I did it for the first time, and it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, so more specifically, we camped at Guitar Lake last night, and then we woke up at 5:30 a.m., and it's pretty much just like 3,000 feet of uphill.
No, we left at 5:30. We woke up at 4:30.
No, we woke up at like 5.
Well, it's like 4:45.
But anyways, we had to basically from Guitar Lake up to Whitney, it's just a bunch of switchbacks and uphill.
But nowhere near as many as from Whitney Portal.
Yeah, it's only 3,000 feet of gain, so it's not so bad. And I don't know, it was pretty straightforward. It didn't feel that hard necessarily, but you and I are pretty adapted to altitude at this point.
Yeah.
From living in Mammoth.
Yep. That's helped. And you counted, what, 10 switchbacks? But they're really long.
No, there's more than that. I just meant I counted 10 in that one section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say it seemed like there was more than 10. But they're longer. But it was interesting, like, we basically were able to see our tent the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And basically until the summit. And then the hike up was very, very beautiful and interesting. I mean, you're just surrounded by granite walls, and it's and lakes. It's really awesome, and we got to see the the sunrise. And I got a little ahead of you, and then I stopped at that junction.
The Trail Crest.
Where the Whitney Portal Trail and the Guitar Lake one cross. And then it's 2 miles from there.
Yeah, to the summit.
And then that part was really cool.
Yeah.
It's not what I expected at all. I mean, you're basically inside just super jagged terrain, but it's like a flat trail.
Mm-hmm. And then we made it to the summit about 9:30 a.m. And then we enjoyed snacks and took photos. And that, like, today was like the official beginning of our JMT hike.
Finally, yes.
Because the peak of Mount Whitney is one of the terminus points of the JMT trail.
Yep.
So we got to Whitney, signed the book, had some lunch.
We hung out for a while. I got there like 25 minutes before you, so I got to see some random people take signs naked.
Take signs.
Take
naked?
pictures naked with the sign.
Okay.
There's a few signs up there for people who haven't been up there that say Whitney and the elevation, and there's the more popular one's a wooden sign, and people like strip down to their underwear and they block the underwear with the sign so it looks like they're naked.
We did not do that.
We didn't do that, but I got entertained. I was entertained, but honestly, I walked around and just soaked in the 360-degree views. The only downside was that facing east was completely covered in smoke, so you couldn't see too much east. But in every other direction, you could see pretty well, even though there was a slight haze of smoke.
Yeah, and this was my second time on the top of Whitney. I did. Mount Whitney was my second mountaineering trip I ever did. Back in like 2014, 2015, we did the Mountaineers route. And I was telling Michael, like, when we got to the summit, it was like this storm cloud rolled in, and so you couldn't see any views. So it was kind of nice to be at the top of Whitney this time and seeing views.
Yeah, even though it was smoky
it was smoky. Yeah.
You know, if you're facing forward out into Whitney, that it was smoky, but you could still look down and see, like, what is that, Iceberg Lake or Boy Scout Lake?
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, kind of like where maybe Whitney Portal sits, it starts getting a little foggy. But yeah, everywhere else, I mean, there's views to be had everywhere in that on that summit. And it was very enjoyable. I mean, it was a full day. We got back at 2?
I think it took us round trip like 7 hours.
Yeah, 7 hours. That sounds about right.
We got back at like 2 p.m. and, going down 3,000 feet of gain or 3,000 feet of descent. My feet started to hurt at the end, and then when I got back and examined my feet, like, I have a couple of blisters, which I'm actually very upset about because it's only day 3.
Yeah.
And I know how to take care of my feet, and I don't know why I'm getting so many blisters.
You had them taped up.
Yeah, and I even had them taped up. So
since the beginning, right?
We were considering going down to Crabtree when we got back, but because of the state of my feet, we decided to stay here and just like rest the rest of the day. Yeah,
so little backstory, when we woke up and took off for Whitney, we left everything, our tent and all our sleeping bag, all that stuff. We just took valuables with us. And we were going to, go back because we have to backtrack a little bit to get back on the JMT northbound. And it's only, 3 miles, but downhill?
It's like 2.5 or something miles, yeah.
So that's why we were like, let's do that. It's fine. It's easy. But yeah, your feet were looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
And given how early it is, it really wouldn't have done anything for us tomorrow because
our tomorrow's going to be chill too. It's like 11 miles and 1,500 feet of gain or something.
And that portion's downhill, so really we're not gaining anything tomorrow. And if anything, it'll just make tomorrow kind of more of a full day as well.
But yeah, I just wanted to like clean up my feet, and I have a strategy that I'm going to try tomorrow to prevent any further blisters from coming.
Yeah.
But
you're going to try duct tape.
Duct tape.
You might save the duct tape so that when your toes fall off, you can duct tape back, duct tape them back to
I just really hope that it doesn't get worse because we have like 19 more days to go.
Yeah, and we actually know people who have had to take like 5 off days on the JMT because of how bad their blisters were.
Yeah, like mine aren't super bad, but they're like baby ones, and I just don't want them to get bad. Like I'm just noticing them, and I'm like, no.
And it's weird. It's shoes you've owned for a while.
And hiked in a lot.
And you hiked in a lot, obviously not multiple days.
Back to back.
I mean, I guess you did, but maybe not. Maybe 8 miles instead of 13. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know why those shoes are... I've had those shoes.
Yeah, but you just have bigger feet. That doesn't mean anything. Just
I do have white feet. I do have white feet. I got blisters in those shoes.
I just think it might be a little bit of the heat, a little bit of like... It's just been really sandy. So I've been getting like extra sand in my shoes.
And what did I tell you to get?
Oh, but that wouldn't help. It will go through the mesh still.
The gaiters?
No, there's mesh on the front.
Oh, yeah. You do have... there's like very porous mesh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's...
Anyways,
we just have to keep an eye on that.
We took a chill day, and I took a nap, and then I read a whole lot. I
mean, take a chill day afterwards.
Chill day
we got back early.
After our 7-hour non-chill day.
I mean, yeah, we had time because we left early, but yeah, I took my first full polar plunge, which felt great. Here at Guitar Lake, after we got down, we were going to go soak our feet and get water, filter some water, but I decided to just go in head first, and I have no regrets.
And then you went fishing?
Yep, I went fishing. This lake is, I kind of knew from looking at it, is the lake literally a mile down from here it was like shoulder to shoulder fish. We didn't stop to fish, but it was ridiculous. And this one up here, I could tell it's, I don't know if it's the elevation.
He's a fish expert now.
I'm just a visual guy. I just kind of knew this place was going to be a little bit tougher, and I got a few bites, but no fish. But I took advantage and decided to experiment a lot because there's big open space, not a whole lot of stuff you have to watch out for or get tangled on. So I tried different baits that I haven't tried before and stuff. So it was fun. And I wasn't the only one. There was somebody else out there, the horse lady from yesterday.
And then tonight we cooked dinner, and dinner was really good. It was backcountry lasagna, but then we
explain what that is, because people are probably thinking we had like a slab of lasagna that was like dehydrated.
It was like couscous, but like with lasagna flavors.
Yeah, it's like pizza flavored couscous. It was good.
Lasagna and pizza taste like the same. So why do you have to describe lasagna like
Because it tasted more like pizza than it did lasagna, which is okay with me.
And
then the biggest... I already know I was going to ask what your favorite part of the day is and your least favorite part of the day, but I'm going to guess this is your least favorite part of the day. Explain why.
Well, okay. We were really looking forward to our dessert, which was key lime cheesecake. Mm-hmm. And I'm positive I'm the one who messed up the recipe. Like, I'm sure it was me.
Probably.
But when we made it, like, it just tasted not good. It was, like, metallic-y.
There was something weird going on. There's this weird aftertaste that we couldn't pinpoint. It was either the substitute lemon powder or whatever.
Or, like, the sugar-free cheesecake that I got.
Or the sugar-free. But I've never tasted anything sugar
Or the
free.
combo.
If anything, sugar free will taste like bland or something, but not bitter like that. So
regardless, it wasn't very good. Michael ate all of his, even though he was saying it was
I was
bad
complaining the whole time, and I ate all of it.
I did not eat all of mine.
So there's graham crackers we sprinkled into it, so it made it bearable. But honestly, after the last 2 bites, I was like, "What am I doing? This is weird." And I'm not super picky. Like, I was gonna eat yours at one point, but then I was like, "No, this is too much."
Everything we've had and made for this trip has been amazing, and that's just been the one thing that just didn't hit the mark.
I think that's just human error.
That was probably all my error, yeah. Because I also didn't have lime powder, and it's supposed to be key lime cheesecake. I only had lemon, so maybe I messed it up with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that was. I can't think it's the sugar free. I've never tasted it. I feel like whoever came up with that and tasted that and we're like, "Yep, we're good to go. This is our sugar free." No. So it was probably that. It was sad because we're big cheesecake fans.
Was that also your least favorite part of the day?
I
think my blisters are my least favorite. I can't say it was my least favorite
because, I guess that's true.
I
don't know. You're big on dessert. Well, I didn't catch any fish.
Oh.
So.
I mean, I think both of our favorite part of the day was being at the top of Whitney.
Yeah, that was honestly, it's got to be the top, being at the, but I really enjoyed the way up. I took lots of photos going up of the changing landscape with the sunrise. That was really beautiful. So just all that encompassed together, the summit and the way up was really cool.
But yeah, I feel like it was a pretty straightforward day. I don't really have anything else to add.
Yeah, so there's one more thing to add. This has been a bittersweet campsite because when we got here yesterday, we had like 3 really close neighbors, which is cool. We like making friends or whatever, but we got here late enough that like people were already going to bed. People were getting up at midnight. And but it was like we had slim pickings because we got here fairly late. And so we were like, and then whatever. We call it a day. We went to bed. And then today, when we got back to camp, there's like literally nobody here. Mm-hmm. Maybe 1 or 2 group were just getting in to do Whitney tomorrow.
So now he loves it.
Well, it was weird. And when we were hiking up, we kept laughing because we could see our tent. But that's all we saw was our one red tent.
Everybody usually leaves here.
Yeah, but so I knew that.
That makes sense.
But when we got back today, having gotten to spend the rest of the afternoon and evening here, we really got to enjoy it. We actually have a really good view of the lake and the backside of Whitney. And this new tent of ours opens up really nicely. So we've been able to chill in here and watch the whole sunset. And then, you took a nap and stuff. But what I was going to say is the big issue with this is the bathroom. We didn't expect to stay here another night. And you need wag bags for this place.
Yeah.
So, if you accidentally find yourself in that situation and stuff, we've heard that this is a problem out here. People don't use wag bags, and there's like people just put rocks on top of their number 2s and stuff. So that's kind of sucks because, that could be a problem. And it's like, at first you're like, oh, people are stupid and they don't follow rules. But I could see how people get stuck in a situation where they didn't expect to bring wag bags or whatever. Because most places you can just dig it up, dig a hole. Even if you wanted to, you can't dig a hole. Everything's rock. But so anyways, it'll be nice to get back into the woods and stuff. So it's
Michael
beautiful lake.
Bathroom.
Yes, basically what I'm getting at. Me and you both, don't even lie.
You brought this up.
But anyways, you gotta talk about that stuff. It's part of the game.
But But now I'm tired, so
You're a little tired?
I think we're going to wrap this podcast up. Thanks for listening. Day 3 is a wrap.
Yeah, I have no idea what's coming tomorrow except that little bit of that little 3 miles we did up here, but I'm excited.
All right.
Peace.
Hey, I wanted to thank you real quick for tuning into the show and listening all the way to the end. If you love this episode and you want deeper support in becoming a safe, confident, and self-sufficient hiker and backpacker, then head over to shedreamsofalpine.com/waitlist to learn more about our Backpacking Badass coaching program, where I teach you absolutely everything you need to know to be self-reliant on the trails and stop waiting around on others for the adventure invite. So I'd love to help you more in your journey of stepping into your adventurous identity, and that program is the absolute best place for us to start working together. So again, that's shedreamsofalpine.com/waitlist, and you can learn all about it there. So that's it for today, folks. I hope you get to spend some time outside this week, and I'll be back very soon with a brand new episode. Bye.